Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is EatMaster21 and today I'll be starting a new series on this channel, the Calamity Submodathon. The name's a work in progress, but the main gist is that I'll be looking at Calamity Submods and showcasing what they add. As for the showcase, we do not have any other mods installed, besides the ones mentioned. The full list will be in the description. Another thing I should mention is that all the worlds are in Expert and Revengeance mode, in order to not mess up with any other modes. There are probably some other mods that I'm missing, so if you see a mod that should be in the showcase, please leave a comment below. But I'll guarantee I'll be covering the biggest ones. Without further ado, let's go on with the showcase. Starting with the Catalyst mod. This mod is a relatively smaller mod. Most of it takes place in hard mode and pre-Moonlord. It re-adds the removed Astrageldon slime from the original Calamity mod. It also has a really pretty menu theme, and pressing shift speeds it up for some reason. I don't know what this is supposed to mean, but it's a thing. But before we get into that, let's talk about some of the other stuff this mod adds, like the two new Wolfram enemies, specifically the Wolfram Mine and the Wolfram Slime. I'll spawn them in now. Here's the Wolfram Mine. The Wolfram Mine is pretty tanky for an early game enemy. Let's grab an early game weapon so we can test it out. Yeah, perfect. It has sort of like a second phase. Like, let's hit it a little bit. It just sort of shoots lasers around like that. You'll find these underground mostly though. And then you'll notice here that it gains like a little aura and it begins to shoot a little faster. Continue damaging it, and it turns red, and boom, it explodes. Now, this thing destroys a lava block, so obviously you don't want to build this up here. But these do spawn underground, and they're really easy to notice because they shoot a bunch of lasers. However, if you do manage to kill one, it drops 5 cores, which is huge for early game because this allows you to get the full Wolfram set and some more. As for the slime, let's spawn that in. Now, it's kind of hard to showcase, but if I move, okay. But essentially, you'll find these just out and about in these little circle things. And when you get close to them, they'll sort of like jump out at you and then act like a normal slime again. They'll just continue jumping around. They're normal like Wolfram enemies. They just drop some scrap as per usual. This mod adds in a variety of flamethrowers and whips for around each part of the game, all doing something unique and have some special ability. I will discuss these weapons and items later on. In order to fight this boss, you have to kill the wall of flesh and enter hard mode. Here. Spawn it in. And all you gotta do is just kill him. Easy enough. You'll hear this sound effect, and then you will make sure you have to see the text, "A star has fallen from the heavens." That means that the astral infection has landed somewhere in the world. Now let's reveal the map to see where that is. Oh, there we go. And it has landed in the snow biome. Anyways, all you gotta do is make your way over there. And now all you have to do is kill an ascended astral slime. They're not crazy rare, but they can be a little hard to find sometimes. It shoots these projectiles that can make it obvious to spot when it does spawn in. I will be using a battle potion and a Zerg potion to speed up the process. So let's see how long it takes for us to find it. I have to obviously turn on spawn rates. Ah, there it is. Putting it there. Finally. It'll shoot these projectiles out that sort of give it its location away. But now that you found it, All you gotta do is kill it. Oh look, there's another one over there too. Kill him, and then you will get the Astral Communicator. Just grab it right here, and this is the item that we need. Let me head back to the showcase area real quick. There you go. All the enemies are gone. Now, progression-wise, according to the boss log, it's recommended to fight this boss right before the Moon Lord. However, in many playthroughs that I've done, it's possible to fight it post Plantera or Calamitas. But do keep in mind, if you do decide to fight the Moon Lord and do defeat the Moon Lord before killing Astrageldon, you will be locked out of the fight and the Astral Communicator will no longer work, as it can be read on the item tooltip. However, now for the moment we've all been waiting for, let's look at the fight. Now just make sure you're in the Astral biome when you use this item, otherwise it won't be used. Now, let's click it. That animation is so cool. And there he is. This boss has 200k health in the first phase, and it features the music Cosmic Disgust by DM Dokuro. All the bosses' music will be featured in the description below, so check that out. But this sprite is just so well done. Like, look at that animation. It's just so good. Like, there's so much detail on this sprite. But anyways, this fight features a lot of heavily telegraphed attacks, as you can see right there. You can see the lines that appear that show you where it is, and you see how the boss has these like beams that show you where the lasers are gonna go. And this attack's especially really good because you just have to follow this and go in a little circle, and it'll follow you like this, and you can easily dodge these attacks. This boss is one of the most fun bosses to no-hit, and in fact there is a special reward for no-hitting the boss, and we'll get into that later. Now let's damage it a little. Alright, let's get to around 30%, and it will start to do some more attacks. Basically, it will start to combine some attacks, and it will shoot more meteors around it. And like as right here, it combines the laser attacks and the jumping attack. This attack's usually just pretty alone by itself, but as you can see, it does repeat a lot of attacks in sort of like a scripted way. Yeah. Now let's get to its second phase. Now this is where the fight really starts. Like, this is just so cool. Like, the background and everything, the border is just so beautiful. But like the first phase, this fight has increasingly telegraphed attacks. As you can see, it even tells you where these beams are gonna go. Now, it sort of changes in the way that it's more of a bullet hell than it was before. And honestly, I kind of prefer this fight because this is just so fun. You do get infinite flight here, so do not worry about that. And this background is just so gorgeous again. And you have this border, but if you try going into the border, you will take damage. But I am in God mode, so I will not be taking damage. So actually, I can do this. Yeah, it deals quite a lot of damage. And in fact, getting hit 4 times from either of the borders or these slime things right here summons these little things around you, and it will sort of explode, dealing an insane amount of damage, and it might as well just one-shot you. At around 30% health, he does gain some more attacks, so let's go get him more. I forgot to mention, but in the second phase, Astrageldon Slime has 336,000 health, and the song Galactic Destruction plays, so that will also be interesting. Ah, there it is. This attack is so cool. All you gotta do is just go around it, but it does deal an insane amount of damage, and then you have to dodge these other telegraphed attacks at the same time. It will again start to combine attacks as it did in the first phase, and yeah. Now all you gotta do is just get to 0 health now. Now, he does have a desperation phase at the end, which honestly I do think is a little cringe. I never really liked desperation phases in any video games. And it's not really an exception, but I still think the animation for this is really sick, and he sort of like absorbs it into a black hole and then just explodes, which is so gorgeous. And then yeah, poof, you win. Congratulations. Yeah. So now let's look at what he drops and the fruits of our kill. Alright, now let's look at the boss's drops. Now this is where the majority of the mod's content comes from. Obviously, we got the trophy and the relic right here. Now this relic, like as you can see right here, is just so clean. Like the white just goes so hard. And we got the trophy here. Let me just grab some walls to place it down. Let's put on some stone walls. Let's go like a cross or something, I don't know. Oh wait. As you guys can tell, I am not a master builder. But look at that, that's pretty good, you know? That's a really cool trophy. I would love to have that as a decoration. But yeah. Next, we have the pet, which is right here. The Divine Jello, Divine Little Duke. As you see, cute little guy. I appreciate he like flies around. Yep. In like the Astrageldon second phase, he just turns into like a little sphere dude. He's pretty cute. But I wish he could also combine him with the King Slime and the Queen Slime pet. I think like the 3 slimes situation would be pretty cool. But I want to go back with my little Duke. Let's put him back. And obviously we got the lore item, the mask. Oh, let's grab these for now. Yeah, so we got the lore item, which talks about, it's just the lore. I'm not that much of a lore guy when it comes to Calamity. But yeah, like, this is pretty cool if you're into that. And then we also get this, the influx cluster. I have to set a keybind to that. Give me a second. Alright, I'm back. I have set a keybind for it, and let's equip it. So I press P. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Has a pretty hefty cooldown though, but that seems pretty useful. Does it let you go through blocks though? We'll wait for the cooldown. In the meantime, I'll talk about the other stuff. We got the Astral Lash here. Now, this is essentially a better version of the Hook of Dissonance. I don't know what's going on with my hoverboard. It's pretty funny. I'm just moving so fast. But I'm pretty sure you can shoot it multiple times. Yeah. Can you just like use this to go into the ground? Nope. Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a better version of the Hook of Dissonance. It's a really good hook. It has absurd range. That range is pretty big. But yeah. And then next we got the Astral Transmogrifier. Now this right here is used to craft stuff with Metanova ore. I forgot to explain what that is. Essentially what Metanova ore is once you kill Astrageldon slime, there's a new ore that spawns in deep in the astral biome. Let me update my map so we'll be able to see it. Boom. That almost crashed my game. Yeah, we should be able to see it. It's like these swirly things. Ah, there. You see this right here? That's Metanova ore. Let's increase the brightness. Oh yeah, as you can see, that my character looks like he's like being dragged, I guess. That's because this ore has a unique property where it will try and drag the player if it has direct access to them. I'll display that. Let me just increase my brightness. There we go. Yeah. Like, notice how it like pulls me towards it. I believe it, yeah, it does a lot of damage upon contact. But yes, But in order to actually mine this ore, you need a pick saw. Because if you try mining it with the pickaxe X, you will not be able to mine it. As you can see right here. You cannot mine it. But with a pick saw you can. So this makes this post golem. Unless you have another way to get a pickaxe that's as good as this. But yes, that is essentially what you need. And then in order to craft the bars, here I'll show the recipe right here. You need all of this stuff, which is all related to the astral biome. But you do need the ancient manipulator, which does push this further to post-lunatic cultist. So none of the awards from Astrageldon actually will help you that much until post-lunatic cultist, but there are like the Hook of Dissonance, which is pretty useful for boss fights, especially if you're doing other mods like Infernum, for example. The Hook of Dissonance is extremely powerful and one of the best hooks in modded Calamity. And Metanova ore and bars is essentially what you need to craft the entire set, all the weapons and everything. And there are some there are some recipes that have been updated in order to use Metanova bars. So yes, and we'll be looking into all the weapons. Yeah, but we also need the astral bars. So you do need to kill Ashrim Arius and Duis in order to get these bars. So yeah. Now let's look into the Metanova items. There's a lot of things you can craft with Metanova bars. As I said previously, there are some items in Calamity that do need Metanova bars now. And one important one is the voltage regulation system, which I believe you do need to fight the Exomechs. But yeah, let's look at some of the items that require Metanova. Let's start with this monolith. It's pretty cool. Essentially, well, it's like every other fountain or monolith. It changes the background into this. And honestly, this is so cool. Can you equip this? That's the real question. Like, if you can equip this, yes, you can. This is so cool. I would love to have, like, finding the Devourer of Gods at this background just would look so cool. Like, this would totally fit the Devourer of Gods, I think. And then, yeah. But if you want to make the weapons, you do need to kill the slime god. But if you haven't killed the slime god by this point, like, it's not gonna be that difficult to fight. Yeah. And then, yeah, let's look at the weapons now. Got all the weapons right here. Let's put this stuff away. Let's just grab everything. Or not these, actually. That's for later. We want this, and we'll grab this too. Yes. Yeah, that's everything. Let's look at the sword. Astral's End. You need Metanova bars, obviously, and the Ancient Manipulator. Now, this sword's one of my favorite swords ever. Just look at this. Look at this. Like, look at that. That's insane. It does so much damage. 284, and these, I believe, do more damage. In fact, we can test it out on some dummies. Let me grab a DPS meter. Alright, let's place 3 down, because this obviously has huge range. 4,000 damage, 6,000 damage. And let's combine it with the sword. Easy 5k. This is a really good weapon. And like, look at this range. I believe the fire does damage. Yeah, it does. Oh, I believe it homes. That's really cool. Yeah, it homes really well, actually. It's actually kind of hard to miss, but yeah, I did not know it actually homes. Next, we got the Astrageldon. So this has 2 modes, I believe. A left click. Yeah, left click shoots a little homing beam right here. Pretty good. I think it shoots 2 homing beams. And then the right click, I believe, is like a flamethrower. Yeah, and it inflicts the astral debuff. Yeah, this is such a cool animation too. It's pretty fast too. Next, we got the Exalted Horizon, which I believe is very similar Yeah. So what this does is it does the similar thing that the Nova Slimes and the border of the Astrageldon second phase does, is where it builds up this astral like effect, and if you build up 5 of them, it does this huge explosion, which does an insane look at that DPS. 9,000, 7,000. Like this is probably I used this on a mage playthrough once and it was just great. And next we got the Astral Pod staff. I only have 1 minion slot right now, but it does a lot, as you can see right here. It homes onto enemies, shoots this laser, inflicts a debuff. Yeah, it's really good. When we test out the armor, I will test this out too, so you can see the thing in full effect. And next we got ourselves the rogue weapon. Here, I'll grab the rogue armor set. Actually, we'll test the rogue weapon when we get to the armor set, because you can't really test a rogue weapon out without the stealth meter, because let's be real, like that's the only thing rogue's really good at. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna do it for the weapons that have to do with the Meta Nova bars. Now let's actually look at the armor. So the armor is really unique, I personally think. Oh wait, we should actually talk about this. The Scythe of the Abandoned God. One of the coolest weapons ever. Now essentially what this is that you get this from beating the second phase without getting hit a single time. It's actually really rewarding. Let's go find the dummies. Where'd the dummies go? I think they despawned. We can just place them back. Alright, let's place 3. And let's just look at this. 22,000 consistently. And there's a right click where it makes you do a dash right here. You start flying. You can basically fly forever with this. It's so good. Yeah, it's such a rewarding item. But yeah, now we've looked at every weapon that's obtained through this Astrageldon. I'm just gonna throw all this away. Should I use a monolith? Whatever. All this, need this. Alright, cool. Now let's look at the armor. Let's start off with the range set, because that is what I have at this moment. Oh, I should have kept the weapons. How do you spell it? Oh, there, I knew that the whole time. Anyways, yeah, let's test this out. So as you can see, it shoots out these stars with the full set. And what the full set does is it basically increases movement, provides you immunity to the astral infection debuff and a lot of other debuffs. And you can also make these if these asteroids do get in the way of your character, you can turn them off by setting a keybind for it. You don't turn them off; they just go become transparent. And yeah, the helmet obviously increases the respective class damage and defense. And yeah, and let's find it. I always forget they despawn. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's see how much damage this does. Like 3,000 damage, 3,500 ish max. Ooh, 4,000. Why is it getting stronger? Oh, maybe it's just crits. Yeah. Oh, they inflict the astral debuff too. Like literally everything that has to do with this inflicts the astral debuff. So yeah, let's look at how much damage we do now with everything. Start off with. All right. Yeah, getting 9,000, That's like 7,900. It's pretty good. Now let's do right click. Ooh, we're reaching 10,000. Ooh, 11, 12,000, 13. I saw 13. That's pretty. 14. Nice. That's really good. Yeah, that's really strong. Yeah, essentially all the armor sort of does the same thing. Let's grab the melee set. I should not have thrown away the weapons. That is my fault. I believe this is the melee set. Which one's the melee set? This one. Yeah. So now what the melee set does is it sort of does the same thing, except it gives you immunity to knockback. So I think the only thing different here is the helmet, which reduces damage by 15%, 22% increased melee damage, or just damage in general, and critical strike chance. That's huge, actually. 44 crit strike. Yeah, that's actually pretty big. Let's put these guys down. Let's see how much damage we do now. Alright, that's pretty decent. I think personally that this weapon is just better for longer enemies, because look at the range, look at all the fire. That will destroy any worm enemy, it will destroy any long enemy, or like a group of enemies. Utterly annihilation. Yeah. Let's throw all these away. Alright, let's go for the next one, which is the summoner one. Nice. The summoner one's pretty big. Okay. Oh, apparently the rings scale with your stats. I didn't see that. But we get a few more minion slots, and minions launch asteroids. So let's test that. Let's get the pod staff. We can summon. Let's see how many we can summon. Oh, do we summon 2 at a time? Ooh, that's really cool actually. Let's see them in action. Oh shoot. That's pretty good. They shoot like these asteroids at them. Ah, that's pretty good. And yep. Next, I believe, is the mage set, and then we'll do the rogue last. Let's grab the Exalted Horizon. Alright, now let's do it. Oh, so apparently from when you get a critical hit, it shoots out like a similar attack to the first phase of Astrageldon, where it shoots the beams out. And similar to the Ascended Slimes too. That's a lot of damage. I think it's the explosion doing all that damage, but that's still really good damage. And next, let's see. Oh, we have the rogue set. Now let's grab the rogue item. It's the drone, I believe. What is the rogue item called? I got the rogue item. Oh, as you can see, it makes me invisible because of stealth strike. Let's see what it does. 120 maximum stealth. Release the asteroid belt to target enemies, and of course you are immune to it. Alright, that seems pretty cool. Whoa. Oh, it releases the asteroid thing around you. That's pretty cool. And yeah, obviously these shoot like the lasers, and then they home in and they explode. Yeah, it's a really fun weapon, honestly. Like, rogue is a fun class, like, as much as people seem to hate on it, but it's a really fun class. It's like range with a little mage in there, you know. But yeah, that's all for the armor and weapons. Equip everything here. Next, let's look at the other weapons and other items as we got by this chest right here. Let's talk about this flashlight actually real quick, and these lens. Got a bunch of them here. So this is literally just a flashlight. Let's go to like a dark place. Let's turn off this light. Alright, here's what it looks like. It's pretty decent. I'll still just use a torch. It's like a novelty item. I don't know how to actually use these. Oh, okay. Alright, there we go. I just had to read it. Yeah, this is really cool. We found different lighting. It's like between the lens. Green, emerald, ruby, diamond. I don't know. This is amber, I think. I don't know which one this could be. I think this is the team one. Yeah, that was probably the team one. But yeah, you can have a real disco party in here. Anyways, that's enough of that. Let's throw all this away. Let's head back. And yeah, we have the other stuff to talk about. We got the bookcases, all the furniture. There's only every single furniture. I could place them down, but honestly, if you really are into building and you want to see them for yourself, just play the mod yourself. But I do want to talk about these Astragel blocks. These are pretty cool. Yeah, you see how it gives you like a little buff right here, increases jump height. Let's take off this. So normally you jump this high, right? You jump this high. But on this, now I don't know what the practical use for this could be, especially this late into the game. But I do think it could be fun for like some parkour thing. I don't know, for like some map. I'm not a builder at all, so I could not tell you. But yeah. Actually, does this increase like how fast? I guess it does increase how fast you get off the ground. That could be pretty useful in like some later fights like Yarum and stuff like that, especially in Infernum. So yeah. Alright. Now, there is another rogue weapon. I should not have thrown away the rogue. I don't know why I keep on doing this to myself. Let's grab the rogue. Let's grab the rogue set, I guess. That is this one. And let's grab the rest of the set. Now, this is an early game item, I believe. Yeah. You craft this from Wolfram. Let's go far away because I'm pretty sure this breaks stuff. Alright, so what this does is you sort of throw like a claymore down, I think, and it'll just like explode. Let's see it. Oh, okay. Oh wow, there's a cave down there. Huh. But anyways, yeah, it's sort of like it's like the Wolfram mines, except you can throw them, which could be useful. It's way bigger than a bomb. I'm not really sure about the comparison with dynamite. So yeah, all the furniture and stuff like that, the ore, the bars, everything. Now we can go on to the other weapons, like the flamethrowers and the whips. Catalyst adds a bunch of like flamethrowers and whips. There's, I believe, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7, including the Astrageldon one, and then there's 8 whips, all of which are obtained throughout the game, and I'll be talking about them. Let's start with the flamethrowers. Now this one is obviously obtained right after Desert Scourge. I believe it's dropped from him. Let's see. I'll take off my armor. I don't want to have any stat increases. Or that. This just shoots like a... I mean, this is alright. I don't really... Would this be... It would be pretty useful for Eye, to be honest. I'm not really much of a flamethrower guy. But I can see this being useful. No, I'm not sure if applying wet to anything makes it take more damage or something. But it's an effect that does happen. So if there's another mod that does change the effect of wet, it could be pretty useful. Next up is the Ichor Thrower, which I can see being pretty useful. Now this one is attained from, I believe, the Perforator specifically. This is... Oh. Okay. So yeah, obviously this inflicts Ichor. And it seems that hitting something, like hitting the ground, will summon a bubble. And that bubble will home onto enemies, which will then cause Ichor. Which is pretty useful. It doesn't seem to cause Ichor for that long, but I think every hard mode, I don't know if it really matters, but it's still good to have. Alright, next is the Blade, or the Breath of Glacies, which is obviously obtained from Cryogen. Obviously this is obtained from beating Cryogen. And let's see it. That's pretty cool. Oh, and ooh. Now I can see this being pretty useful. It inflicts Frostburn, I think. Wasn't taking any damage from it, but it does inflict Frostburn. Specifically the little crystals that it does summon. I can see it's being pretty useful. Next, we got the Rook of Anarchy. This is obtained from killing the Ravager, and it shoots out these little fireballs that do pretty good damage actually, and it has pretty big range. Holy crap. Do those just go infinitely? That's actually crazy. But yeah. This does not have a right click. I thought it did. But I think that's the next one. No, this one's pretty cool. If you see this one, like a little charge, if you just left click it, it shoots like a little like plasma blast out. But if you hold it, it shoots two extra ones, which I can see being pretty useful. Oh, this one doesn't have a right click either. Yeah, this one looks pretty cool. I like the sprite. The sprites are so well done. I wish they're easier to see, but this one is obtained from the Plasma Legion. This one's obtained from being the Exomex. I think specifically Thanatos. I'm not quite sure. Maybe all three of them drop it. But yeah, this one does have a right click, but this one's also the coolest one. So you can hold it and it will shoot this flamethrower out. But if you hold it for long, that's a lot of damage. However, it does overheat. As you can see, it's like glowing now. So let's see what happens when it overheats. Yeah, it just shorts. It like gets much weaker. It does half DPS. I think it was doing 30k before. Now it's only doing 60. So yeah, it's still a lot of damage, but you don't want to. But there is a right click, which you can use to alleviate the overheat. It's the same thing as the left click while overheated, but yeah, it's better for like single use. But I think this is pretty cool, you know, like just a giant laser beam. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's all the flamethrowers. Now let's look at the whips. Now these all have something unique about them. I would test it with minions, but I just want to test out the damage first. Now this is when you get from killing the clam, and I believe you buy it from Amidas. I think that's his name. Yeah, it shoots like these. If you get a crit, I think it spawns in like a shell, which a minion can hit, and it will like it'll explode for like 6% tag damage, which makes them take more damage from the minions, obviously. And then yeah, I don't see the shell thing. I saw it earlier, I swear. I don't know. It's not showing up. But next we got the Prism Break. Now this one's sort of the same idea. I think you get this from Aerialite. It's post perforators, as it says on my notes. Minions shoot homing crystals. So let's grab the slime staff, which shouldn't. Oops. I did not mean something down there. Alright. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, okay. That's just pretty good damage, actually. For free hard mode. I can see shooting this against a wall of flesh. Maybe. Like with the imps. I think having a bunch of imps just shooting this out would be pretty good. But there's also another pre-hard mode whip called the... Where is it? Oh, the Congealed Dual Whip. Now, this one's pretty unique as it shoots two whips at the same time. Pretty good damage, like sort of the slime. Alright, about 200, but if you right click it, it shoots two in opposite directions, which I believe has longer range. Or it's about the same range. Gets that tree, right? Yeah, it's about the same range, but I think this is pretty cool. It's 360 attack. There's not that many weapons that do this actually, which is pretty cool. Now let's get into the hard mode ones, starting off with the Underbite, which is crafted from, I believe, Crotofossils, which are dropped from tier 2 acid rain enemies, so you have to beat the Aquatic Scourge in order to get these. Now this just straight up shoots like a skeleton, which I believe, let's see, does this do some damage? It like starts biting. It's pretty cool. Inflicts acid venom. Yeah, that's pretty sick. It's a pretty good range weapon. So Oh, look at them. Look, they're chomping, bro. Alright, and then next is the Sandstorm Rains, which this weapon depends if you have Infernum on or not. In terms of progression, because I believe there is a boss called the Befrit Vassal, which is Infernum exclusive, which is a post-Plantera boss. Anyways, they're both post-Plantera, but Befrit Vassal is kind of difficult in my opinion, so a Sandshark's not that difficult. So this one might be worth getting or not, but it's pretty big. I believe it says it summons Sandstone Sharks, but I don't see that. Maybe it's a crit thing that but these don't crit. Maybe I have to have a minion. Oh, there it is. Alright. You have to have a minion. That's pretty big damage. I could see myself using this if I was playing Summoner. Next one is the Resonant Striker, which I believe is dropped from Dragon Folly. That is really cool. I think it just only if you hit them it summons these. And it does pretty good damage. Yeah, it's Dragon Folly. I feel like Catalysm allows people to get more stuff from Dragon Folly, and I think Dragon Folly is kind of underrated boss. It's a pretty fun fight too. But next we got Blossom's Blessing, which is obviously crafted from Uli Bloom, which is post Providence. So yeah. Now what does this one do? I think this one, it spawns in like these petals, I think. Let's see, I think we have to have a minion on. I don't really see them. Oh, whoa. I think if you touch one of these, it gives you like a buff. Okay, alright, maybe these just do damage then, I suppose? Because, let's see. Touch the largest petal. Oh. Oh, okay. And it gives you, oh, that's pretty cool. Powerful thorns and life regen. Okay, so it gives you thorns, life regen, and I believe it also does more damage, but it doesn't say that. Alright, that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. I think that's really sick. Like, just the petals just coming from one side of the screen. Yeah. Alright, next we got the Unrelenting Torment. This one's dropped from Poltergeist, or Poltergast, I believe. And this thing has range. This thing has a lot of range. Does really good damage too, but I believe it summons these things. Oh my god, it scared me. Yeah, it summons like these spirit things that just like, I think they're called like, what are these called? Why am I confused? Oh, one click shoots like 5 of these. Oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, Otherworldly Claws, which is pretty sick. Alright, and for the final whip, I do not know what that is. Oh, I think that's, okay. So this one is obtained from infuming the Kaleidoscope, and what it does, it's obviously post Calamitas, and obviously what it does is, from the tooltip, it says it like does these blood charge things whenever you hit something. So you can see me taking damage up there, but I'm healing instantly, and I'm charging this up, and each one of those purple circles is like a tier, and when you have all of them filled up and you right click, you gain like this frenzy, and you just go crazy. Yeah, that's pretty sick. How long does this last? But I'm pretty sure you take constant damage while you're in this state. Oh, I guess not. You only take damage when you're using the whip. But yeah, each tier does something different. Like this one will just make your whip do more damage. Let's see what tier 2 does. Oh, it's the same, but it's just weaker. So that's fair enough. It doesn't do the like Hellfire debuff. I don't know what that one's called. But yeah, that's it for the whips. But anyways, guys, that's the end of this video. This mod adds in quite a lot. It's honestly great that they took a boss that was totally abandoned and replaced, and they re-added it in the game, and they just changed it so much to where the point where it's like it just feels so good to fight, and the visuals around this boss is just eye candy. However, it doesn't really change the overall progression of Calamity, except for maybe the Exomex and some other weapons and items. but it does add its own flavor, especially to the astral biome. Like most of the weapons can easily take you from like Moonlord to Providence, or even maybe the Sentinels. But yeah, that's the end of this video. If you have any suggestions to improve, make sure to comment them down below. And if you like what you saw, then hit that like button and press subscribe. And with that, peace.